Please use subscribe, like, and share to stay informed about the latest developments in 2024-2025 season. Now, let's analyze the match properly.
Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 0, a really frustrating game. You guys got my immediate reaction last night. Today we're looking at analysis. What actually went wrong and why was this such a frustrating game? And honestly, for me personally, the reason that I found this game so frustrating was because large parts, the first 45, as we said yesterday, was really promising. I thought we saw some really good football from Manchester United. I thought we saw some real control on the ball, an ability to progress the ball, get into the final third, create, and dominate the game in the first half. And it started with good play out from the back, where, to be honest, Crystal Palace didn't really start the game applying too much pressure up the pitch. They certainly weren't going in an intense man-for-man pressing system. They weren't really interested in that. So what United quickly looked to do was move to a back three on the ball. Something that we've seen quite a lot now in the last week or so. United shifting to this back three shape. And in this game, it was Mazraoui deeper on the right-hand side, De Ligt in the middle, and Lisandro Martinez on the left. Now, what Crystal Palace are going to do is sort of start off with a high block. And what they want to do is kind of match you up like this. And what they want to do is let you have the ball initially. But let's say you go into midfield and then you go backwards. That's then when they want to apply pressure. That's when they want to get a little bit closer to you. And that's what Crystal Palace were trying to do in this game. However, United prevented this with a really nice piece of intelligent movement from Diogo Dalot. You see, Nketiah here, the right forward, wants to go towards Lisandro Martinez to apply pressure. However, because Diogo Dalot started in this position here and then would move narrow, it brought Nketiah a little bit narrower. And that potentially created room for Lisandro Martinez to then play in. And we've got an example of it here. Now, on this occasion, United have got a slightly different shape at the back, just as we're moving the ball backwards. But you can see Nketiah wants to go and apply pressure to Lisandro Martinez. You can see that is clearly the direction that he is heading in. However, he quickly checks his shoulder and notices that down the bottom here, we have a man going by the name of Diogo Dalot, who is quickly making the counter movement inside the pitch. And as a result, as Dalot moves inside the pitch, Nketiah becomes aware of him. And so aware, in fact, that he follows him all across the pitch. And what we can see now for Onana in goal, if he looks to the two sides of him, to his right and to his left, he actually has two centre-backs who are in a fair amount of room. And as a result, United could move the ball out from the back, past Crystal Palace, and fairly effectively towards the middle third. Now, once in the middle third of the pitch, Manchester United were essentially setting up in a 3-2 shape. You can see it here. This is 4 minutes 29 seconds into the game, and it's a rotational shape, because currently we have Diogo Dalot and Kobbie Mainoo operating as our double pivot. However, if we fast forward 15 seconds, Kobbie Mainoo has rotated a little bit higher up the pitch, Christian Eriksen has rotated a little bit lower, so our players are moving and interchanging position, but still, we are ending up with the same shape. This is a really good sign from Manchester United. The back three gives us good numbers in the first phase, the double pivot in midfield gives us options on the ball, but the important thing is here, Ten Hag is still applying his ideas of players moving and rotating, but we're still keeping a solid structure. We're keeping a solid foundation. However, what was really important for me was the positioning of Christian Eriksen. You can see Crystal Palace here have got that three who could still match up with our three, and they have the two in midfield which could match up also. However, Christian Eriksen caused problems because what he wanted to do was drop outside of the Crystal Palace shape. He wanted to pull into these kind of left back positions to give himself a little bit of time on the ball. Now, the Crystal Palace centre-backs, let's swap these over. The Crystal Palace centre-backs don't really want to be that aggressive. They don't want to go that far out of position. So as a result, someone like Adam Wharton's suddenly got a decision to make. Does he go over to Eriksen and give Dalot room? Or does he stay tight to Dalot, but leave Christian Eriksen with a lot of room out wide? And we know from Christian Eriksen, you're going to get real passing ability, an expansive passing range, the ability to genuinely dictate the game from these deeper positions, and I often felt that he did that. We've got a glimpse of this here. You can see the back three from United, and then you can see the two in the centre of the park. However, you will notice at the bottom of the picture, we've got Christian Eriksen, with a lot of space in front of him. Now, on this occasion, United moved the ball a little bit too slowly. We don't actually manipulate the block particularly well. You know, perhaps we could have done something like this, where we move the ball quickly inside and go around the corner. We could have done that, but we didn't. We moved it a little bit too slowly. However, when we sped it up a little bit, there were moments, of course this is a little bit deeper, but there are moments where Christian Eriksen can pick up the ball and he's got time to move the ball up the pitch. And once again, This was a way in which United really gained territory in this game. But for me, the most important thing from here wasn't actually the shape we used or the way we moved the ball forward. It was the fact that we didn't rush it. This was really controlled. This was measured. This was Manchester United dominating the ball in the first half, completely controlling the game. And there was a moment which really captured this for me. It comes from Diogo Dalot at the moment. Manchester United win the ball back and have the opportunity to play forward fairly quickly, but Diogo Dalot recognises that United are not in their settled structure. They actually don't have a back three. So what he does is he screams at the player to slow the game down. He then points at his defenders, tells them to move into position, and then from there, United are willing to build again. That's a clear message. That was a clear message of intent in this game. We want to do it slowly. We want to control the game. We want to keep the ball. So that's a really good sign for United moving forward. It's a promising idea that we want to slow it down at times and manage the tempo. However, what is still good is that as we move forward, we're moving outside of Crystal Palace's block. We've spoken about the ability to progress the ball that United had in this game, but we're still creative in the final third as well, particularly as we try and get close to each other in these attacking areas. Xerxes going to drop deep and link the play. Again, I think he had a good game, dropping deep, getting on the ball, that bit of flair on the ball, but it's the silkiness with which he plays. He just brings players in around him. The issue really is that when you play against a back five who have got a 2 in front of them as well, and Crystal Palace are a good defensive side, they're disciplined. When you play against this sort of team and they're sitting deep behind the ball, because we're so dominant, it is difficult to find that final pass because the spaces are so tight. It can be difficult to work that opportunity. The frustrating thing is United actually created those opportunities. We were able to move the ball to one side of the pitch, kind of drag Crystal Palace over a little bit, and then what we're doing is